All right, so it is a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. It is 22 degrees Fahrenheit or -5 degrees Celsius. We got a little bit of snow here last night, so it's a bit chilly, but it looks pretty out here. But got a couple trees inside that I've been wanting to work on, a couple Dawn Redwoods, and I got this really cool pot from the thrift store. So let's go inside and check it out. All right, so I was at my local Goodwill thrift store earlier today and I found something really cool. And that is this little bonsai pot. Now it does have a fake bonsai in it, but my hope is to take it out and put an actual bonsai in it, because if you look on the bottom here, there is some drainage holes. Yeah, not too bad. Picked it up for $1.99. And while I was there, I also saw this little bonsai stand. Now, I don't know if you can see the feet, if that's picking up well on the back, in the black background. But either way, this thing is pretty cool and not bad for $2.99 for this and $1.99 for this. So that'll look pretty sweet if I ever do a bonsai show, which you never know. We'll get there eventually. So let's try to get this this fake bonsai thing out of there. All right, so I'm not exactly sure the best way to do this. Oh, look at that. There's some type of tag or something that was on there at one point. Do I just break it right off? Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. There's even like little baby roots in there. That's fun. Try not to cut myself here. It's like a plaster. We don't need that or that. I don't know what the best way to get this thing off is. Not exactly the easiest thing in the world. I might need to get some pliers or something. Be right back. All right, so there is our pot, all nice and clean. Not too bad. I am pretty dang happy with this. So not too bad for $1.99. I'm not sure if it's really showing up, but I'm liking all of the little crackle that's on this pot. Pretty nifty. So yeah, now we just find a tree to put inside this pot. All right, so let's take a look at something else. All right, so here is my Dawn Redwood that I grew from seed from a tree that is in my town. I took a look at this one earlier today and I noticed that it's coming out of dormancy, which is not really what I wanted to be happening in January, but alas, it is what it is. If you look close right here, you can actually see where one of the green buds is starting to wake up. So might as well give this thing a prune while we're here. This grew fantastic over the late summer and fall. So it's been asleep for a decent amount of time, so I'm not incredibly worried that it's waking up in January because it had a decent dormancy period, so I think it'll be okay. I'm just going to keep it inside with my tropicals, and it'll get an early start to the spring. So yeah, let's get a closer look and do some pruning on this. Now if you look right here, you can see that there is 2 wounds that are healing up very, very well. I can even move it a little bit that way. It's almost closing up, and I would guess by the end of this year that hopefully that wound right there will be completely healed. And that other one's almost closed as well. So yeah, it's looking pretty great. So that healed up really well. All right, so if we examine this tree a little bit, we start off with the trunk down here that twists a little bit. We have our first branch right there, and it bifurcates with these 2 branches right there. It comes up and has this branch here, which 1, 2, 3, looks like it trifurcates right there. So we'll probably have to get rid of one of those branches, at least right there. And then it goes up and then has the bar branch right there and another bar branch there and ends up here. Now this is a lot taller than I would like it to be at this point in the game. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to take this tree back down to right about here. It looks like I have 3 little buds there, so that should be plenty of buds for one of these to become the new leader. So I think that's going to be our first cut right there. All right, here we go. First big cut. There we go. All right, so it looks like we got about half the trunk off right there. So not too bad. Maybe we'll put this in the dirt and try to get a little cutting out of it. You never know. We might get something. So now let's focus on these little branches here. What do we want to do? All right, so the trunk comes up and then we have our first branch here. We got a bunch of buds there. I'm happy with that. That's about like 1.25 inches of branch right there before it starts to bifurcate out there. So it comes up, and then this is the first set of buds right there. And then we have another set of buds right here. These buds come out this way and that way. And I think the safe bet would be to clip it off right here, which is what I'm going to do. There we go. Now we got a little bit of room for dieback above these 2 buds. And this next branch, we have a set of buds right there and a set of buds right there. So I think cutting it right here would be pretty safe. So let's do that. Leaving some room for dieback. All right, so that side is good. Now for this one, I hope this one takes. Actually, I'm not even sure if I do want this one because these 2 buds would come in towards the tree, and these 2 over here go out that way and that way. So that is about 1.5 inches of branch, but it's okay, it's fine. Now this branch right here doesn't have a bud for about 2.5 inches maybe till right there. So I'm thinking this is one that I'm going to take off, and I'm going to do that now. And then this one, we have a bunch of buds right here. So I think it would be a safe bet to snip this off around here. And this one has a bunch of buds as well. I think we can snip this off Just a little bit right there. There we go. All right, and I think we are done with this one for today. So not too bad. We got a little branch there, a little branch there, and I know for sure that this thing is going to grow like crazy this year. I was debating repotting this today, but I think it's okay. I'd like to get this out of the pot maybe this year. I'm not 100% sure if I'll take it out during the summer, but at the very least, maybe next spring, I'll do a repot on this because I did just do a repot it last year. But yeah, this thing is looking pretty good. So I'm excited to see what this will look like in a few months. So we'll put this back on the shelf and put it with the tropicals, and we'll monitor it for the next couple months and see what happens. So yeah, let's get to something else. All right, so next up we have a cutting of the Dawn Redwood that I just pruned up. So this was a cutting that I got, I believe, in, I think it was early spring of 2024. I believe that's when this thing was propagated. So this thing has been growing all summer. It's been growing fantastic. Yeah, super happy with this one. I'm even debating letting this one grow in a really, really large pot just so it can get bigger. So we'll see. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this one yet. But I will do some prunes on it today. There's not a whole lot going on with this one right now. It has the one long branch on the side, and there's a little baby branch growing near the bottom. And then we have these 3 leaders up at the top. So I think what I want to do today is I want to just prune this back a little bit and get it ready for some spring growth. This one, fortunately, has not come out of dormancy yet, so this one's still taking its winter slumber. But I figured since we pruned the other one, we might as well prune this Dawn Redwood as well. So yeah, let's get at it. All right, so this Dawn Redwood, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? So again, just taking a look at this one, trunk comes up, and you can see there's a little tiny baby branch growing down there. I'm gonna keep that one. But I'm debating which one of these 3 leaders I'm going to take out. I think I'm going to leave 2, and I'm going to get rid of the 3rd one. I'm leaning towards getting rid of, or do I get rid of 2 of them and just have 1 long leader going? Might be a better bet as if I get rid of 2 of them and keep just 1 going. Yeah, probably is the best bet. So snipping off 2 of these and keeping 1 leader, maybe around here roughly on one of these. Okay, so one I know I don't want to keep for sure is this one here. So that's the first one that's going to go. Here we go. Gone. We'll put that with the rest of the cuttings that I have. And let's just clean up that cut. See, we got a bud right there, so we might even have that as our leader instead of one of these. You never know. You know what? I think we're going to snip this off right here, and we're going to keep this little bit as the leader and snip this part off. So let's do that. That'd be a cool little cutting. And then we'll cut this here. Little bit of room for dieback. All right, this is getting to be quite the stick in the pot here. Now we have this really long branch here, and there's this section here that doesn't have a bud until here and there. And I guess that's our only option, is to snip it back to right here. If that even grows, you never know. I could just snip it back to there, but I'm hesitant to, because I like to have a backup bud. Because if that doesn't grow and I clip that off, then it's a whole lost branch, potentially. So there's our backup. Or I guess this is our potential bud, and then that's our backup. And then this little one down there, we're just gonna keep as is. I'm not gonna mess with that. And yeah, there we go. So this one's good to go. So we'll put this back on the shelf and take a look at it in a couple months. Maybe do a repot on it, because you know, we'll see what's going on in here. Last year I just shoved that right in the ground, and you know, so the roots in this, they are sticking out a little bit at the bottom. Nothing crazy, but it could probably use a root prune just to start shaping it up. So yeah, that's it for this one today. So thanks for watching.